vzone.com.
First of all, you gather all the components you have brought for your PC. Now take user manual, which is the instructions for installing a processor to a motherboard. Perhaps it will be included in motherboard's user manual. Now read it. Take all instructions related in processor installation and cooling fan installation procedures. Let's begin the installation with processor installation onto motherboard. Always follow a user manual whether problem occurs. Now open the array on motherboard for processor. Place processor with carefully into the array. Now close the array. Apply thermal paste between processor's upside surface and heatsink for better heat conduction. Now, set the heatsink with processor fan as per the user manual's instructions. Set the heatsink and cooling fan on motherboard and connect CPU fan wire connector to onboard connector, as per the user manual instructions. Processor installation is now complete. Now, turn head to the PC casing. Now, take the power supply unit. See where the place reserved for power supply unit. It depends on PC casing's design. Place it correctly and fix it with screws provided, but do not wire it. For now, there are some tiny copper case standoffs or will be provided with casing. Take them out and place them carefully to tally them with holes, which are came for set the motherboard with chassis. Do this really carefully. If case standoffs are not they placed correctly, so they does not tally with motherboard's holes, so they will make short circuit and will destroy your motherboard. So take good care when placing case standoffs. Place the back plate to rear of PC casing, which is provided with motherboard. Now, place motherboard into casing and fix it with the screws provided with PC casing. Optical drive installation. Now fix them with screws properly, but do not wire them for now. Take the hard drive and place them correctly and carefully in the casing rack inside of PC casing. Fix them with screws, but do not wire them. Now it is the time to install the memory module, so-called the RAM, onto motherboard. Extract the fixing handles to their maximum open position, which are in the ends of RAM slots. Now, take the RAM and see very carefully. The nicks of RAM and notches are on the slot. Place the RAM on the motherboard RAM slot and make sure the nicks and notches are tallying each other. Now push the RAMs equally from two ends by fingers into the slot until fixing handles retract and fix the RAM card into slot equally and correctly. It is the time for fix the graphics card. Take the user manual for the motherboard and read the instructions for graphic card installation. Now, remove the retaining plate from rear of PC casing, which are accurately aligned with the graphic card slot, as per the user manual instructed. fix the card into slot, and fix the wide other end of card to the casing with screw if needed. Now, we need to wire the components together. So, we going to need the help of user manual very strongly. So, take the user manual and read all the instructions. Related wiring, cables, slots, and look at all the cables and slots and their interfaces by your eyes. Then you can identify them, which are the match with each other. Never force them each other to fit. It may cause damage them. Let's begin wiring with front panel. Front panel is the power button, reset button, indications LED, and it may be USB, sound in, and sound out too. Those wires are come from the front of PC casing. To wire front panel, use your motherboard's user manual, because they may be different for every and each model. Now, there is some huge connector from the power supply. It is the main power connector for motherboard. Connect it to motherboard's huge slot by matching the surfaces with care. Sometimes the wire connector can be larger than motherboard slot, because the motherboard only uses 20-pin connector. So detach the wire connector. Definitely it will be a detachable one. Now there will be another 4-pin square shape wire connector. It is the connector for processor power supply. Connect it to onboard slot as per user manual. If there is a power requirement for graphic cards, you need connect them with wire connector came with power supply unit to the graphic cards related slot. Now, we are going to connect the hard drive. First of all, we have to identify which is the interfaces used in hard drive for data and power. Whether it may be a SATA, serial ATIA, or PATA, parallel ATIA. Those are uses different interfaces. Now, take the related cable and connect it with motherboard's related slot. Now, connect the power connector with matching interfaces from power supply unit to hard drive. Do the above two same exercise with optical drive also. If there is an optional wirings, please follow the user manual and do as per the instructions. Now, you are completed the hardware assembly of PC. Now, you have to connect external components to complete the assembly. Now, connect the power cable to power supply unit. Connect the keyboard and mouse to the keyboard in and mouse in at the rear side of PC casing. Connect the cable for display unit to the display out at the rear side of PC casing. Now you can power on your PC. Keep in touch to see how to configure BIOS and how install an operating system to a PC. By another video from vzoni.com. Thank you very much for watching.